Hey everyone, Redneck Atheist here. Today I want to talk about free will and more specifically the problem that Christians have when trying to explain free will within their worldview and the problem they have to having a rational discussion within their worldview. You see, the main problem with Christianity and the way they approach the free will issue, or that any issue for that matter, is they come at it with a confirmational bias. What this means is they assume certain things to be correct and true before even beginning their discussion. Some of these facts are: the Bible is reliable, Jesus is God incarnate who came to take away our sins, God exists is a good one. So they have certain predispositions to believe in certain things even before the discussion begins. So before you can even have a conversation with a Christian, you need to realize that regarding certain issues, there's no way to talk any sense into them, because there's no way to convince them that some of the so-called held beliefs that they have are not true. So that's been my main frustration with talking to Christians, and I understand it completely because I used to be a Christian, and there was nothing that an atheist like myself could have said to me back when I was a Christian that would change my viewpoint, because I knew what I knew, and I knew what I knew to be true. But now that I'm a free thinker, I realize the flaw in that kind of thinking. You cannot really grasp at the truth of any issue when you already believe that you have the truth. It's just impossible to reconcile that with rational free thought. What do? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I come to the conclusion that the only way to change a religious person's opinion about their religious beliefs is it has to be internal to them. Something has to happen in their life that makes them have a small amount of doubt. Some tiny chink in their armor has to be cracked in order for them to even believe that what they believe could be false. There's not much that we can do to help them along that path. We can, show them the facts. We can try to be rational and try to make valid arguments, but really it all boils down to they're going to have an internal experience that makes them doubt their fundamental beliefs and creates a paradigm shift in their thinking. And it's a slow and can be a long process. The period for me, considering myself a conservative fundamental Christian, to where I was finally able to admit that I'm an atheist, was probably a 5 to 6 year period. After reading The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, after reading that book, I realized that there was no shame in admitting that I was an atheist. I've come under some criticism of Christians who've seen my videos, and they're like, why do you flaunt your atheism? Why do you call yourself redneck atheist? And all these guys that come on here and make videos, they got to be something atheist, the amazing atheist, redneck atheist, all these guys. Speaking for myself, I purposely went on YouTube to make these videos to promote my atheism. This is an outlet for me to express how I feel on certain issues. I can't talk to my parents about this stuff. They're hardcore Southern fundamentalists. I really can't talk to my wife about these issues because she gets really frustrated. She's a Christian in the loosest sense of the word. So why do I call myself redneck atheist? Well, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I have a Southern accent. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of stereotypes about people from the South, especially from the Deep South, from the so-called Bible Belt. To a lot of people, a Southern accent is a sign of stupidity, ignorance, whatever have you. So I realized that when I was going to make these videos that I would come under attack because of my Southern heritage and my accent in particular. So to cut off the criticism and to show that I am making fun of myself and that their criticisms have no power over me, I decided to name myself Redneck Atheist. Another thing that really ticks me off is anytime I mention to a Christian that I used to be a Christian, they automatically know what kind of Christian I was. Just assume it right away. Oh, just because you went to church, that doesn't make you a Christian. Oh, so you were there with me. You know everything that I did. You know that all I did was go to church. You weren't there. You don't know how serious I took my Christian walk. I took it very seriously. I am still a member of a very conservative Baptist church. I mean, I'm only a member because I haven't told them to take me off their... maybe one of these days I'll get around to it. I haven't been to that church in a long time, and I have no plans to go back. But when I was a Christian and I went to this church, I took it very seriously. I was very conservative. Very conservative. I went 3 years without watching television because I thought it was a tool of the devil trying to tempt me into sin. I avoided having premarital sex with women while I was a Christian because the Bible teaches against it. And so I believed what the Bible said, and I didn't practice premarital sex. And so I did a lot. I prayed constantly. I read the Bible. I participated in Christian Bible study groups. I led some of them. I took my Christian walk very seriously is what I'm trying to say, and I read every book on Christian apologetics that I could get my hand on. Doesn't mean I've read them all. I read quite a bit. I've probably read at least 50 to 75% of the books that the YouTube Christians have read and used to make their arguments. And I could make their arguments for them just as good as they could make their arguments, because I've been there, done that. That being said, I'm now an atheist, and I obviously read books that promote atheism, and I take my atheism very seriously. I think that's a part of my personality, is that when I get committed to something, I jump in with both feet. I don't just dabble, I get committed. I just wanted to let you guys in on some of this and let you know what you're against when you talk to Christians. Beware of the confirmational bias. They take certain beliefs a priority, and there's nothing you can do to fight those beliefs. No matter how logical you are, how sound your argument is, when they assume that certain things are true, no matter what you say, there's no way to break through that. And it's frustrating, I know, and sometimes you just want to yank out all your hair and slap somebody and say, "How can you be so stupid?" Maybe one day I will be a Christian again. All I know is it's going to take some rather profound evidence for me to believe again. I'm not saying it's impossible, but pretty close to impossible. Well, until next time, this is the Redneck Atheist saying, Yeehaw!